All right. I've talked about this game a lot on stream, but we haven't done like a video for it. So for those that don't tune into my streams, I wanted to finally discuss Godfall. And why I'm basically so excited. Let's just get right into it. What you're watching right now is going to be a bit of the gameplay. More so what this is here is like I said, kind of a combat trailer. And what Godfall is, for those that don't know what it is, it will be coming out on the PS5. I think it's coming out for PC as well. But they're emphasizing this whole PS5 kind of thing. And the reason why I'm stoked for it is, again, in the kind of game that it is. If you watched my previous video where I discussed Gotham Knights as an example, and why I'm excited for games like that, and why I'm hoping that kind of element is explored, definitely going into the next generation of console gaming. The big part of it is that as far as what's attracting me to this game, it's not the fact that it's just kind of this action styled combat system, and as they are building it out, and I didn't even explain, I'm sorry I mentioned this, what Godfall is the sort of action adventure looter brawler game. Now, it's not live service, however. It's all, you get in the game. When you get the game, all the stuff that's in there can be unlocked. With the gameplay, there's no microtransactions, anything like that, because it's not live service. So how long this experience is going to last, it is hard to say. I really do not know. However, I'm excited for it because you can play this, of course, cooperatively with up to, as you see right there, 3 people. It's kind of an odd number, but they went 3. You can play it up to. So if you wanted to play it by yourself, you of course could play it by yourself. But the reason why I'm excited for it is in the fact that I can play this with other people, and that's what excites me about this. So what excited us a lot about Avengers. It's what excited us a lot about Gotham Knights, because it's a genre not really explored a lot, where the combat system built into an RPG is almost a mini kind of fighting game, right? It's a true combat system, not like your traditional, obviously it's not turn-based, but not your traditional, even what some people call action RPGs, where, yes, you press a button, you do a move, but, it's not a whole lot of combos. It's not a whole lot of skill that's built into the combat system. Skill is more built into, like, your gear, and obviously knowing weaknesses of enemies and stuff like that, and then working with teams and MMOs. However, what I like about this, and what we like about Avengers, and what is more of the combat system, is built into the skill, right, element, as well as those other aspects that you would generally expect out of a let's say an RPG, right? And it excites me. I hope that this is going to be explored. I just pull up another like random video, I guess, here. But I hope that it is explored more going into the next generation. I, of course, have the bias in that I would love to see it more so for the comic book. So DC Universe, why you're holding on to DC Universe Online 2 with that dated system that it's on, upgraded to something like what Avengers attempts to do, is something that I think would be awesome. But it's just not a genre that I feel is virtually explored a lot, at all. Really at all. It's like Xenoverse, for those of us that play Xenoverse, is one of the really the only games that tries to do that, but it has balance issues because it tries to do the PvP. I think that may be the closest that we ever get to something like that. Because when you build out a game, and this is why it's so difficult to build out a game like that, because it's hard to balance the PvP. When they're shooters, that's not a problem. Destiny does that, right? I mean, though Destiny has had balance issues of sorts, it's just not nearly as bad as something like, what maybe a Xenoverse would experience. So what I'm hoping is that, with what Xenoverse did, people can see that obviously it can be done. It's just, what has to happen is that the combat system has to be built with that in mind. You can't like take This is why I know folks saying, like, would Avengers ever have PvP? I say probably no, and if it would, it'd be probably terrible because the combat system was not built with that in mind. The combat system was not built with that in mind. So I doubt that that's something that'll ever happen. It's something that you have to build in it, and this is why Xenoverse was able to at least attempt and try. And if you did get some balanced 3v3, it could be insane. Obviously, they didn't really try. There's no true leaderboard system. Good luck getting on the same team as the people that you went in there with trying to play with, like your friends. It's just a mess there. But it tried. And if we could get some of these companies, preferably a AAA company, to do something like that, I think that is an MMO that will be dropped in one generation. Definitely if you have the created player element. This is what obviously Avengers and stuff doesn't have. So you're talking about mixing a combat system like that, then throwing it with a immersive world and constantly being added upon like a, traditional MMO or like DC Universe Online attempts to do, is my dream game. That's my dream game. But I love that we're starting to see more games like this that try to do the, okay, let's build some sort of skill within the combat system and making it a brawl. It's a brawler essentially, not a shooter, but it's more, it focuses on melee combat. But that's obviously other elements that you can build in, having range attacks and stuff too. All that would have to be taken into consideration. But I like that a lot of companies are trying to do that. Some are going to fail just like with any other genre, but this is something that I want to see more of. So this is Godfall. This is coming out going into the next generation. So this will be launching November 12th with the PS5 launch. And I'm excited. We'll be playing it on stream. We'll of course play it on stream, and we'll see. But as soon as I heard about it, I was like, it looks like a cool little new action vision game. But then when I was like, oh, you can play this cooperatively, I was like, oh, now you're speaking my language. And it makes it that much more exciting. And this is what I was talking about with the hardware upgrades of consoles. Is that those types of games, I feel like, are now more than ever going to be doable, as opposed to as they were in the past. To have like this sort of live, more realistic modeling, let's say that it's not like cartoony or anything here, where you may see some of those, but this is attempts to try to make there's weight to the combat, right? There's weight to when your sword goes across someone's face and stuff like that. And obviously, if they was ever to build a PvP, this is why I'm excited for Ghost of Tsushima, although I don't think it'll ever have PvP. If you could master that, you have the near perfect game, at least for me. But that's just such a hard thing to do, because you're talking about basically building multiple games in one. And we'll see what happens. But watching this and looking at it, there's obviously different weapons classes with Godfall that's going to be popping off. You have also with this game, all of the gear has some sort. It's attached to like the lore. It has names, so the gear is like, you may not use it, but it's something connected in that regards. I think the weapons more so. I don't know about the gear. I think the weapons refer to that. That's what they were saying when I was watching the recent interview. But it does have the parrying, the dodging, and perfect parrying and all that you would expect from a game like this. But yeah, man, the fact that you're having people give this type of game a shot. What he called it, I believe one of the directors, I don't know what his title was, when you watch the actual gameplay trailer. It's like 10 minutes breakdown, and he calls it a looter brawler, is essentially what he calls it. So yeah, man, we'll see that type of stuff soon enough. And yeah, there's not a whole lot of games on the horizon that look to be giving it a shot aside from Godfall that's like that. But for people that are like gonna people mention these other games and like this game doesn't, like, no, they don't. It's not like, we're not talking about the games like Monster Hunter or something like that. I think that, again, think games like this, think Avengers, think let's say like Xenoverse games like that is more so what we're talking about, where there's an RPG element to it. Your character building different things, do different things in terms of what you have equipped and stuff like that, while also being a brawler with some sort of like obviously the best is some sort of skill requirement, and that's what makes it, I guess, more fun. So I hope we see more of it. I hope we see more of this. I will probably be playing this game with one of my mods, and we'll go through it if I can get someone else to get if one of my mods can get a hold of one of these PS5s. But I'm really excited for PS5. Godfall, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's well thought out, fleshed out more so, and we'll see if that's even gonna, because it is not live service. Hopefully it's not like a experience where we beat it in like 3 days or something like that. We'll see. So yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Until next time, y'all be easy.